Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Sunday School with me, Sarah. And we're going to be using the Somnia Tarot today, which has a little bit of a dark, somber feel to it. It goes with Halloween, Scorpio season. It is the season in nature of release, of death, of decay, and of harvest, okay? So it's an end cycle so that we go into a period of dormancy so new life can return in spring. We do have an eclipse, solar eclipse coming up on Tuesday the 25th in Scorpio. One key aspect that I've really been feeling is Venus cazimi, which is Venus at the heart of the sun. So Venus is moving towards the heart of the sun. That was my cat. Sorry, I'm going to keep it in there. It's real. So Venus is moving towards the heart of the sun, which brings about a lot of like kind of almost like Leo energy. Playful, flirty, fun, the innocent heart, okay? Scorpio, though, is like, okay, anything, it's the nodes, the eclipses take place on the nodes. Our north nodes are in Taurus and Scorpio now. So we've got a lot of fate and destiny connected to this upcoming eclipse. Eclipses close doors on things that are no longer serving you. So the eclipse in Scorpio is going to be really closing doors on anything that is preventing you from feeling that playful, solar, leonine, loving, Venusian beauty, indulgence, and enjoying the experience of physical love, affection, partnership. That doesn't have to be necessarily like with your one romantic partner, or even if you're single. It can be like affection with friends and kind-heartedness, things that really make you feel that warmth that brings life and abundance and vibrance, okay? So anything that's getting in the way there, it's going to be sort of stripped away, or you're going to have a clear insight that it's time to sort of let go of anything that's preventing you from living in that beautiful Venusian space. And with Scorpio, it's going to be about that space of experiencing your deep emotions in a pure way. And a pure, we don't mean anything ethical or moral. We simply mean aligned with the totality of who and what you are and what you've come here to experience, okay? So as far as emotion, that's like where you find a really pure, pristine area of the sea that has been untouched by garbage, by abuse, by shortcuts, stuff like that, okay? So we're talking about the feeling of sensual and pleasant love and affection combined with subconscious realms of very deep emotion, cycles of life, death, rebirth, transformation, clearing that all out so that you can enjoy love in the way that you want to, okay? Okay, let's start out with one collective card for everyone, how we're going to cultivate heaven upon earth this week, okay? Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. How we're going to cultivate heaven upon earth this week. The Queen of Coins, okay? So, think about this particular card. So the Queen of Coins is, we've got a profile. So she's really not paying attention to what anybody else is doing. She's gone into her own world. And in this particular deck, she's got the compass, okay? So the compass is really about balance. It's about the circle of time. It's about what you're focusing on when we're looking at it in terms of Queen of Pentacles. And Queen of Pentacles is all about creating a sense of security, groundedness, stability. She wants everyone in her realm to feel taken care of in a very material way. So she wants you to know that, like, you know, there's food on the table and it's going to be at this time. When you're dealing with Queen of Pentacles, she's like, I have many gifts to offer. I can bake you cookies. I can take you to the train station. Very like physical oriented help. But what she needs in order to do her work is participation as far as committing to order. There is a time and there is a place and there is an exchange of you show up for me here and I will show up for you there. And Queen of Pentacles is always auditing. So there's a really definitely a theme coming up here for the collective about keeping balances. Like, you know, nobody has checks anymore, but balancing your checkbook or balancing your ledger, balancing a ledger of any kind is coming up with Queen of Coins. So that's like organize. Okay, so this week it's about being very, very grounded. And Queen of Pentacles is also about fertile growth and about seeds that have planted and what is growing in the garden and what are we going to store. And it's about also dealing with times I'm feeling, hearing, sensing there's this idea that goes with the traditional onset of winter, which is when you're preparing for a time of lack. You're thinking ahead. You're thinking like, what would I really need? Like if things were stripped down to the bare minimum, what could I get by with? What is valuable to me? What is the most valuable to me? Okay. So she's really taking account of what is the most valuable to her. Okay. And this is really also about like minimalizing expenses as far as how you're cultivating heaven upon earth. So heaven is about when you're feeling joyful, you're feeling balanced, you're feeling abundant, okay? So the Queen of Pentacles, she's kind of saying, you know, there's some things we don't need. There's some things we need to cut out, okay? We need to downsize, not because of a lack, but because of practicality, and because we want to be able to enjoy and survive off of the bare minimum so that we're not carrying excess weight, because heaven is light, earth is heavy. So in order to find the balance between heaven and earth and to bring heaven to earth, you've got to lighten up some of your earthy weight and really focus only on what's useful and truly abundant to you, okay? And so that way you let the lighter energy come into the very purified plane of earth transactions. So the earth transactions are what take place with you and your relationships with earth, meaning people that are in earth bodies, okay, versus ancestors that are not in earth bodies. Food that is physical, that you consume. Transactions with property, with anything that you own, okay? So go ahead and do a house cleaning and do a balancing of the books with relationships and with possessions and with bills and with expenses. And think about anything that's making you feel very weighed down versus light and excited and abundant. When we're feeling truly, when we're in the earth element, we are in the heaven element. The true nature of the earth element is that we are growing, we're pushing up towards the sun as we are shedding, okay? So they are both happening at the same time. There's really no stagnation in the true natural state of the earth element. It's when we take our minds and our intellects and our ego into the earth element, and we try to hoard and hold on to and grip onto things, that stagnation occurs. Okay, and stagnation is the opposite of heaven. Freedom, love, expansion, infinite. Okay, spirit coming into matter. Okay, let's move on. Pick cards number 1 through 3 now for your personal readings for the week. Pick card 1, card 2, or card 3 for your personal card of the week. How you are going to cultivate heaven upon earth this week. Okay, card number 1. Card number 1. We have got 3. Oh, the Empress. Bless. We had the Empress last week. I love it. I love the Empress. The Empress is the earth goddess, the mother goddess. This particular image shows a woman sewing. Okay, shows a woman sewing. It's hearkening to the past for sure, because she's like in this old field. This whole deck really harkens to the past. It's kind of a ghosty deck for this, time period that we're in, where the veil is very thin. Halloween coming up. Ooh, but it's also about, what can you reclaim from your ancestors? What can you reclaim from your ancestors? Because your ancestors are part of heaven now. Whether they're like, even if you have an ancestor that's like kind of angry or still attached to their ego, they're not on the earth. They're not in three-dimensional form. They may be in the lowest realm of heaven, which we tend to say is the astral realm, but they're still in a realm of heaven. It's not earth. So this is about, and we also all have guiding ancestors who help us, and ancestors who can oftentimes snap into a much more evolved form when they leave their bodies, okay? So a lot of times that's why ancestors are so helpful, because a lot of times ancestors who are ready to leave their ego identity behind will snap into a higher formed or more evolved formed, higher dimensional, higher vibrational form when they leave the body, and then they're very able to help their kin that are still in bodies, okay? So this is like return to creativity in a practical way. Return to creativity in a practical way. We live in a world where creativity is sort of sectioned off for the creative types, okay? So the artists, the musicians, the craftspeople, etc. But anyone who does anything that manipulates matter in any way is creative in that moment. When you make a bed, okay, and you choose to crease it in a certain way, or crease that corner in a certain way, or place that pillow in a certain position, whether you're taught it specifically and you're trying to replicate a teaching, or you're just trying to find your own way, in either situation, you are being creative, because memory is a little bit creative. Even when we're taught something in a very specific way, nobody ever does it the same time, the same exact way every time. So it's really important for us all to realize that we are creative, we are crafting, and also this touches upon sowing your fate, and sowing the fate of your own life in your creative actions. So this is really just touching on this basic creative energy of the Empress that plays out in every moment that you have. And in bringing heaven to earth this week, it's important to look at the minute and small ways that may seem meaningless in a societal sense or an archetypal sense. So when you are at the grocery store and you're buying something from someone, you can say so many different things to the person who's checking you out. That is an act of creativity, how you're speaking with them. So this is about creating the world that you want to live in. So in every interaction that you have this week, think about what kind of an atmosphere that you're creating by what you say to different people. Think about how you're handling things, how you're paying attention to each moment, okay? Empress energy is about being very, very present in each moment so that you can create that moment to its fullest extent, okay? To its fullest extent. So even if you don't want to be in that moment, if you are in a super hurry and you have to go to the gas station, taking on Empress energy at the gas station is bringing a sense of care, okay? So you may want to just ignore everyone, say like the card thing reader isn't working on the pump and you have to run into the store and you're like so frustrated and you might be short with the cashier. But if you take Empress energy in there, you say, no, this is my moment. This is my moment. This is my fate unraveling. And here's how I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it beautiful. So even though I'm in a hurry, this is a real person and I want to acknowledge them and I want to create a moment that's meaningful. So I'm going to look them directly in the eyes. I'm going to ask them how they're doing, okay? This is just my example because I'm always trying to cultivate moments of love if possible because it feels good to me. That's what I want. I want to feel harmony. But you do whatever you want with the moment, okay? Weave your story with presence. Weave your story with great presence in every moment this week to bring your heaven to earth. Okay, next. Card number 2. Card numero 2. Okay, here we go. What do we have here? The Ace of Swords. Oh my God, this is so Lady in the Lake / Pandora's box. Oh my God. Okay. There's a mess of things coming at you. There's such a mess of things coming at you this week, card number 2. And it can be hard to see what the priorities are, okay? It can be hard to see what the priorities are. So it is important in this time to return to a crowning idea, to something that has been running the show and inspiring you for a long time. Now, if there hasn't been anything that's been running the show and inspiring you for a long time, there's something beckoning, something that wants you to look at it. The Ace of Swords is very much kind of the light bulb moment. Ding! This is what you pay attention to. Now, the way that you can access the Ace of Swords, if you are lacking clarity this week, because a lot of things are coming at you, is certainly meditation. Is very probably the fastest way to access the sword. The sword is the clarity of thought. It's when all other things melt away and all you have is the one clear, purest thought, which is in alignment with your heavenly self. The sword stretches up into the heavens, into the divine plane, and comes down into your hand, your power. What are you exercising in the world? What are you doing with your will? What are you doing with your will? Okay? So this week, connect very purely with your will. Your will is about what you want, but it's about not what your ego wants and not what you want in this moment. It's about what your higher self wants. What does your higher self want? Okay. Now, it's really, it can sound a little confusing just to say like, well, just do what your higher self wants. Okay. So you may need to stop and check in with yourself. You may need to do a free write on what is really important to me. What is my crowning glory this week? What is my crowning achievement? You may need to imagine the observer part of yourself, okay, as an eagle flying above you, looking down on your little human self and saying, wow, what are you good at? What are you proud of yourself for? And how can you add more of that into the world this week, okay? Because the Ace of Swords it's a card of power. It's a card of power, okay? And we always want to wield the Ace of Swords, a sword, with love, with our heart. But the heart processes emotions, and those can get very muddy. And sometimes we need to call upon our higher mind to help us clarify what is resonating in our higher mind, what is important in our higher mind, and what's the thing in our heart which aligns with the higher mind. They need to be aligned together, which is very much the water element here and the fog. Beautifully, you call it mist of Avalon, okay, the mist of Avalon. And that's where our higher mind is so potent and pure when we combine it with our heart, that we're able to almost transcend the material realm. And we're able to enter the world of the miraculous with our power and with our intention, okay? I could ramble on about this for a while, but I'm going to stop there. So clarity of mind, and clarity of intention are important for you this week. Card number 2. If you cannot find those things, spend some time meditating, spend some time journaling, spend some time self-reflecting, or walking or driving. Whatever you can do to get yourself out of the monkey mind so that you can find that clear light bulb moment idea, which is guiding you forward, which is your power. Don't swat at the flies also. Don't swat at the flies. Don't use your sword. Don't use your power to swat at the flies, okay? Hold your sword steady until there's actually something to fight with. Mostly it's about holding your sword. Hold your power. Okay. Card number 3. Temperance. Okay. Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling anxious? Are you wanting to drink the tea while it's still hot? Look at that. That's what's happening there. You gotta wait for the tea to cool down so that you can enjoy it and you can taste all the flavors in the tea. Feels very mundane for you, card number 3. It's literally just like, take a breath. Take a breath. You're going to enjoy the experience more if you wait it out. There might be a few things here for you. I'm getting a mundane sense where you might just be in a hurry. You might be kind of like in the air a lot this week in your thoughts. This is about calming. Also, there's a thing that goes with this card. It's like, fake it till you make it. So you're not feeling grace this week. You're not feeling patient, but you've got to fake it. You've got to be like a swan on the water, okay? Swan on the water, looks like everything is going fine, looks graceful all the time. Maybe its feet are paddling like 1,000 little strokes per minute. You don't know, because it looks so graceful. You don't know if the wind is pushing it along or if it's doing all the work, okay? So this is very much about when you're not feeling grace and ease, take on the stature of grace and ease. It's about tapping into the power of your body, your earth, to shape your heaven, your mind, your heart, okay? Your light, your perspective, your consciousness, okay? Our consciousness is infinite, but we hold our consciousness in a body. And everything that our body experiences affects our consciousness in this moment and time and space. So this is about tapping into the heavenly nature of your body. The nature of heaven in your body is grace. So that is to move without effort, without thought, okay? When we are full of anxiety, we have to try like a ballet dancer who trains so much, okay? Who trains so much to look graceful. And they train so much eventually that they're not thinking about it anymore. Their body is just doing it automatically, okay? So this is about tapping into the intelligence of the body to change the mind, heart, and soul. The mind, heart, and soul. It's not as above, so below this week. It's as below, so above this week. As below, so above. Tap into the miraculous intelligence of your body to shape your entire awareness, okay? So that's keep tabs on what your body is feeling at all times. What does it need? Nurture your body, care for your body. Be careful. Temperance is about being careful. Be careful with your body, okay? All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. You can please share this, like this, comment on this, share your experiences with this reading. I love to hear them so very much. And feel free to DM me or book reading online. Or if you're in Hudson or around Hudson, you can come to Bodhi Spa and Yoga for a tarot or Reiki healing or astrology session with me. And I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.